Imagine waking up every day with a knot in your stomach, wondering if today could be the day everything changes. For many immigrants in the United States, that fear is all too real. The thought of being separated from family, friends, and the life you've built here can be overwhelming. But what if there's a new rule that could change that fear into hope? What if deportation might only apply to those with a criminal record? This is not just another rumor floating around social media. This is a hot topic that's catching the attention of immigrants all across the country. You might be asking yourself, is this true? Is the US government really changing the way deportations work? These are questions that deserve clear answers. And in this video, we're going to break it all down for you. Right now, there's a lot of confusion out there. Some people say this new policy could mean greater protection for law-abiding immigrants. Others worry that it's just political talk that won't lead to real change. The truth? It's complicated, but we're here to simplify it for you. In the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly what this new rule means, who it protects, and what steps you can take to stay informed and safe. Whether you've been in the US for years or just arrived, this information is crucial for you and your loved ones. So, if you've ever felt anxious about your future in this country, stay with me because this video could bring you the clarity and peace of mind you've been waiting for. And hey, if you care about staying ahead of the latest immigration updates and protecting your rights, make sure you like this video right now. It's a small click for you, but it helps us keep creating content that supports immigrants just like you. First, let's clear up what's actually going on with this so-called no deportation without a criminal record rule. When people hear something like this, they often think, wow, does this mean if I don't have a criminal record, I'm 100% safe from deportation? I wish it were that simple, but immigration laws in the US rarely are. What's really happening is that there's a policy proposal and discussions around prioritizing deportations for individuals who have committed serious crimes. This doesn't automatically mean that every law-abiding immigrant is fully protected, but it does signal a possible shift toward a more targeted approach rather than broad, sweeping removals. Now, why is this happening? Over the years, immigration enforcement in the US has gone through so many changes. Different administrations have had different priorities. Some have focused heavily on deporting anyone without proper papers, while others have concentrated their efforts on removing people with criminal convictions. Right now, there's a growing conversation about whether deportation resources should only be used to remove individuals who actually pose a threat to public safety. That means people with criminal records, especially serious ones, might be at the top of the list, while those without any record could be less of a priority. This is why the new rule is creating so much buzz. It sounds like a lifeline for millions of immigrants who just want to live their lives peacefully. But here's the part you need to understand. Even if this rule is fully implemented, it doesn't create a blanket protection. Immigration law is full of exceptions and fine print. For example, someone without a criminal record could still face deportation if they overstayed their visa, entered illegally, or have pending removal orders. The difference is that under this new policy, enforcement might focus less on these cases unless there's another reason to prioritize them. It's all about how resources are allocated and who the government considers a priority for removal. So, while this could mean fewer deportations for people with clean records, it's not an absolute shield. Another important point is how this policy could affect families. Many immigrant households are mixed status, meaning some members are citizens or legal residents while others are not. Under harsh enforcement policies, even minor infractions or just being in the wrong place at the wrong time could lead to deportation proceedings. This new approach, if it truly takes hold, could ease some of that fear for families who have stayed out of trouble and contribute positively to their communities. Imagine being able to drive to work or drop your kids at school without constantly looking over your shoulder. That's the kind of relief this policy might bring. Now, let's talk about what counts as a criminal record in this context. Not every offense is treated the same. Immigration law classifies crimes in different categories, like misdemeanors and felonies, and even has a category called crimes of moral turpitude. which is a fancy legal term for certain offenses considered morally wrong. Under most proposals like this, the focus is usually on serious crimes, things like violent offenses, drug trafficking, or other major felonies. Minor issues, like a traffic ticket, typically wouldn't trigger deportation under a rule like this. But here's the kicker: immigration law is tricky, and even a minor mistake could lead to complications if it's not handled properly. That's why knowing your rights and staying informed is so crucial. Some people worry that this policy might change depending on who's in power, and they're right to think that way. Immigration enforcement priorities can shift quickly when a new administration comes in. What's true today may not be true tomorrow. That's why relying solely on policy headlines without understanding the bigger picture can be risky. Even if the current government is saying, "We're focusing on criminals," there's always the possibility that a future government could reverse that stance. This uncertainty is something immigrants have been dealing with for decades, and it's why staying updated is not just important, it's essential. So, what should you do in the meantime? The most important thing is to stay on the right side of the law. Even if deportations are being narrowed down to those with criminal records, it only takes one mistake to end up on that list. Keep your paperwork in order, avoid risky situations, and if you ever have questions, talk to a trusted immigration attorney or community organization that can give you the right guidance. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's your best defense. I also want to stress how valuable it is to have a support network. If you're an immigrant living in the US, you're not alone, even if it sometimes feels that way. There are countless organizations, advocates, and even online communities that share information and support one another. Changes in immigration policy can be confusing, but when you have a group of people helping you stay informed, it's much easier to navigate. The worst thing you can do is isolate yourself or ignore updates because you're too afraid to know what's happening. Fear grows in silence, but when you face it with information and support, it becomes manageable. Let's also address the emotional side of this because, let's be honest, immigration isn't just about laws and paperwork, it's about real people with real feelings. Living with constant uncertainty can take a huge toll on your mental health. You might feel anxious, stressed, or even hopeless at times. That's why a policy like this, even if it's not perfect, gives many immigrants a sense of hope. It's a sign that maybe, just maybe, the system is shifting to recognize that not every immigrant is a threat. Most of you are here working hard, raising families, and contributing to society in countless ways. You deserve to feel safe. At the same time, don't let this hope make you careless. Policies can change, enforcement can be unpredictable, and mistakes can happen. This is why I always say, keep your documents updated, stay out of legal trouble, and stay connected to reliable sources of information. If something doesn't sound right, double check it. Don't rely on rumors because those can spread fear or false hope. Stick to official announcements and trusted immigration resources. As we wrap up this discussion, I want to leave you with this thought. Policies come and go, but your future depends on how well you prepare and protect yourself. If this new rule becomes reality, it could be a game changer for many immigrants. But the real power lies in knowing your rights, staying informed, and taking action to secure your place here. You've made it this far in the video, which tells me you care about your future and the future of your loved ones. That's something to be proud of. And because this topic affects so many people, I encourage you to share this information with friends and family who might need to hear it. The more people know the truth, the less fear and confusion there will be in our communities. Before you go, let me ask you a favor. If this video gave you clarity or even a little peace of mind, please hit that like button right now. It might seem like a small thing, but it really helps us reach more immigrants who need this information. And remember, the more we stick together, the stronger we become. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.